It's Friday. You made it. Sit back, relax. We got a lot of sports to get into for this weekend. Specifically, college football Perloff starts tonight with USC Utah in the Pac-12 title game. And then we've got all types of games on Saturday, sprinkle a little soccer in. And then Sunday, we have like 5 to 6 great NFL games.
But I have a much more important assignment to start the show.
I'm sorry.
I have to get you out of this good mood. Ever since the Bills game last night, you've been, I'm sorry, a Thursday night game win.
Just tap dancing right on the Patriots season. I am in a very good mood
You're
today.
tap dancing on the carcass of what was the Patriots dynasty.
I don't care. I'm still tap dancing.
You should be more worried about Miami. I need negative, worried Bills fan Maggie. I don't need this. We just won a Thursday night game. I can enjoy the entire weekend. Do you ever hear Miami? I think you ought to worry about them, not Mac Jones.
Well, the Bills hadn't won a division game until last night. So, yes, I'm very aware of who Miami and who the Jets are. But no, see, I'm so glad you brought this up. We were not going to start with this, by the way. But it feels so good.
Why?
To bury Belichick. Because he tortured the Bills for 20 years. It feels great to bury this team, even if they're a shell of themselves.
I think that's a loser mentality. There should be one goal in Buffalo. It better be that Lombardi trophy.
Oh, well, it is. But this is a nice one on the way. It's a nice little stepping stone on the way to, hopefully, Arizona. We'll see.
Did you kick his butt last year, too?
Yeah, but, everyone can do it once or twice. Now this is 3 times in a row.
Nobody
does that to Belichick. You know what? They are terrible. Can we just stop on the Pats for a second?
Yeah, they're not good.
But how did that happen? I mean,
you're too close. Everybody has seen the Patriots totally crumbling. Every move they've made has been a bad one.
Okay. It's one thing to be mediocre or to not have the horses or whatever. I felt like I didn't watch an inspired Patriots team last night. They didn't feel like they were playing with the same kind of energy or the same kind of urgency that Buffalo was. Like, they just didn't meet the moment. That has never been a Bill Belichick team. And
but is it the last 2 years? You're saying it's different than the last 2 years?
I thought this game was just different, even than last week. I thought they played fine against the Minnesota Vikings. I thought they played well. I was expecting that the Bills were really going to get a fight here, and instead they didn't. And it was some silly stuff, too. Like, you get a second down play, right, in the first half, where somehow the Patriots got simultaneously called for a holding penalty and an intentional grounding. How did that happen? You got a fourth down, you're going to delay a game? Like, these are the things that a Bill Belichick coach team just never did. Whether they were good or bad, and they were always good, didn't have mental mistakes like that.
Well, I mean, look at what happened last week. So they were supposed to fix the special teams, and that wasn't any outstanding thing either. I mean, that's all true. And you're right. There is definitely something that is off with the coaching, which is unbelievable. But look at that roster, Maggie. I mean, that's not good. Your most potent offensive weapon last night was a cornerback. I mean,
which was impressive. Actually.
Yeah, and he's awesome. By the way, big fan going back to Houston, but I don't think they have good players. I think it's hard to get amped up when you are just getting outmanned. How many times did Josh Allen break their heart last night on third down? 100 in a row? At a certain point, you get deflated.
Okay, but that's all on Belichick, too, because he's picking the players and because he's deciding who's coaching these guys. And to be honest, like, the offensive play calling, I know we've gone back and forth on Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, is a problem. Mac Jones last night gets caught on the sideline. Mac Jones, okay, who doesn't really have a leg to stand on in this league. I know he had a good rookie season, but Mac Jones feeling empowered to scream at the coaches on the sideline last night, and here's what he said afterwards.
I get it. I mean, listen, you're down 24-7. That's when you want to establish the run game and have a short passing drive. I have no idea. I don't know.
Eat clock.
Yeah, that was just outright bizarre. I don't know what Matt Patricia is doing. He obviously should not be the offensive coordinator. Is that where we're landing here?
What I think it's actually a terrible combination. It's not just that I think Matt Patricia is not a good play caller. I don't think Mac Jones is a very good quarterback because he is missing guys. And listen, you want to credit the Bills defense? I'm all here for it. But to be honest, I don't know how much you can credit the Bills defense. They got their hands on a couple things. They were meeting guys right at the moment, tackling well, but Mac Jones was straight up missing throws, missing guys.
I know. He does not look good.
No.
And when he had to run around, it was just awkward looking. He's got my mobility. He did get it looked like he was going to trip every time he was trying to scramble. Though, the one thing that I will say about Mac Jones, I feel like Kyle Shanahan really wanted him. So there are some good coaches who value Mac Jones.
Well, Belichick's supposed to be a good coach.
No, good good offensive coaches.
The greatest of all time, probably.
Good offensive coaches, kind of like the Kingsbury. And, he was with Sark at Alabama. I think in the right system, he could be a baller, but this is not. And also, those receivers are not good. The running game's fine, but there's not a lot of
Stevenson is good. I think Ramondre Stevenson is good, and they have, that quick passing game. And quite frankly, I think the receivers are totally adequate. They're not bad.
They're bottom 5 in the league.
They're worse than receivers in Houston? I mean, I don't know.
Bottom 5.
Okay.
Listen. What is it? Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, and Devontae Parker. Yeah, Devontae Parker was floating around. I mean, all those guys are kind of journeymen. By definition, because they've all journeyed all over the place.
I understand it, but I guess I'm just not used to that ever being a factor. Because who was Wes Welker? Who was Julian Edelman? Who were any of these guys?
They were guys catching a football from Tom Brady. Yeah. So that gets to let's get to that issue.
Okay, so this has been basically floating around kind of in the ether for the whole week. And it's not just, two dudes in Worcester having beers. This is maybe not some real reporting, but people talking about a possible Brady reunion with Belichick.
Two guys in Worcester, Mass.
I knew you were going to go
throwing out some wicked Sam Adams and talking about Tom Brady versus Mac Jones versus Bailey Zappi.
That's your Sandler impersonation?
That was a Boston accent. That was actually more of a Worcester, which is a half hour south of Boston.
Yeah.
It's a fine distinction.
we picked up on it.
Welcome to Worcester.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. You want to talk about Brady now?
Okay,
Let's talk
in a
about
normal
it.
accent?
Yes, in a normal accent. Brady going back to New England.
Yeah, tell people the genesis of this sort of rumor.
Okay, so Jeff Howe is a writer for The Athletic, had basically done an article this week about where some big-time quarterbacks could end up next year. And he talked a lot about Brady, and he mentioned a lot of different teams. And then one of them was, don't count out a return, because this is, not about pride. It's not about ego. It's about the fact that these two guys won so much together, and basically that the relationship is still very good between Brady and Robert Kraft, the owner. So could that broker basically a peace treaty between the two?
Yeah, but there's so many problems with this, starting with the talent around him. So I know Tom Brady won with sort of undrafted wide receivers forever. But remember his last year in New England, when the talent started to really dip, they just said he was miserable. So I don't think he's going to want to go back in this situation to throw. I know he does have the running back and the tight end to throw to, but there's got to be somewhere better than this, right? If Tom Brady is going to play till he's 46, he's got to go in a place where he can win immediately. This feels like he's going to be behind the Bills and the Dolphins right away.
And the Jets. The Jets are a better team than the Patriots right now. So.
Well, Brady's up to the Jets.
But still, we'll talk about the Jets another time. I know Samter wants to, but here's what I would say. This sounds nice, and if this was a sports movie, I'm sure this would be the ending. Like, Brady goes back to New England, they get together, and they all ride off in the sunset together or whatever. This is not a movie, and that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, I think we all agree Brady's going to leave Tampa, right? This would be the last year in Tampa.
Probably.
Well, let's just agree on that premise for now.
Unless he gets to bring in his hand-picked coach or something.
I don't even know if that would save it. But where Brady, I think, is going to go is going to be San Francisco. And you can say, well, Trey Lance, and they traded all of this up to get him. Trey Lance gets to sit on ice. Put him on the back burner for another year, right? As you like to say, that's our sunk cost. It's not going anywhere. To bring Brady in for 1 year, there's so many things about San Francisco that look like Tampa from 2020. Great defense, good offensive line, great weapons where you turn around and you're like, geez, they really kind of have it all. Brady's hometown team playing for Kyle Shanahan. This to me is all setting up for San Francisco. And I don't really even give Trey Lance a second thought.
What about Jimmy G? He's gone in this.
He's gone too. They can't franchise tag him.
I feel like San Francisco's a team that doesn't need Tom Brady. They're probably going to the Super Bowl this year. Why? If they don't win it, then what's... I get it. Well, is San Francisco better than Tampa Bay? Let me paint this other picture for you. Okay. Tampa Bay, you have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, a receiver, and you're in the NFC South. Then again, the NFC West is getting weak. I don't know. That's a warm weather city. Why not Miami?
I think the ship sailed after the tampering thing.
You don't think you'd go back to that?
Well, first of all, I think Tua's entrenched now. Okay, you're looking at me funny.
Let's see if Tua survives Sunday.
We'll see what happens.
I just worry about Tua's health. If that does not work out, then Tom Brady may be back to Miami. All these places are much better than New England. I agree with you for your first premise. San Francisco's a great fit. Miami's would be a great fit. Tampa Bay is a much better fit than New England.
Yeah, listen, if he wants to come back to the AFC East, and it's a lot different than when he left. You didn't have the Dolphins that you had to worry. Well, the Dolphins maybe a little. You didn't have fully constituted Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs the last time he was there. You didn't have the Jets with a ferocious defense, who have gotten to Brady in the past. When the Jets had a great defense, they gave him trouble. Now you do. I don't think he'd be coming back to the same thing. And even the magic of Brady and Belichick, I don't think it would be enough. So I think for as much as, the Bill Simmonses of the world and all these Boston people want Tom Brady coming back, it's not happening. He has so many better options than to go back to New England.
Yeah, absolutely. Including TV is still floating out there. I mean, it's not getting any younger, Maggie.
He looks like he is, though.
Well, you're right.
I don't know what to make of that because, I don't know.
There's so many mysteries, too. And why does he keep throwing the ball into the ground? I don't understand that one either.
Who, Tom Brady?
Yeah, what's all that about? I understand that Mike Evans is... Yeah, but he's seen the rush his whole life. Even last year, he has this weird thing where, especially with Mike Evans targets, where he's throwing it 15 feet in front of him.
Yeah.
Probably because if he throws it over his head, Mike Evans will just quit on the ball. I don't know what's going on there. He's the worst. But, yeah, okay, so he's not going to New England. So where is New England then? Is Belichick ever going to win again?
Look at these questions.
Well, I said it yesterday.
Amazing.
The Bills fan is loving this.
Oh, you guys, I'm in such a good mood. I'm in my holiday sweater to match our set today. I'm all in a cheery mood. Bills go into Gillette Stadium and win. Doesn't get any better.
Oh, get out of here. We got to, are you guys as uncomfortable with Happy Maggie as I am? This is really creeping me out.
Listen, if the Bills keep getting people back healthy, I'm sorry, but get used to it. I'm going to be a happy fan.
Okay, so you're going to catch up where everybody else in the room was at this.
Bills won three road games in 12 days. Von Miller not there. They get Epinesa and Rousseau back. They were excellent last night. If I can't be happy today, I'll never be happy.
That's true.
Be careful what you wish for. I mean, you've been talking to Maggie about being positive all year long, and she's finally positive, and you're saying it's creeping you out.
I can tell you a conversation, I don't know if it was on air 2 weeks ago, where the Bills were the Las Vegas favorites to win the Super Bowl, and Maggie's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Literally, she couldn't understand. And just 2 days ago, you said the Chiefs are clearly winning the AFC.
Well, I mean, I still might think that, but here's the thing. Everyone abandoned the Bills, right?
Nobody abandoned the Bills. You abandoned the Bills.
No, I never would. They got off the bandwagon when Josh Allen had a couple bad games, not thinking the Bills could have a run game. Hey, I didn't know the Bills had a run game either. This is new development for all of us. But now it's like the halfway people are gone. They're on to something else, and it's the true Bills fans who are left.
I mean, but they fell. Did they fall below the Chargers in the Super Bowl odds? As I recall? No, they were tied for 1 or 2 in Super Bowl odds.
No,
this whole time.
They fell below the Chiefs.
They fell to 2, but not in all books. They were right there at minus 450.
Well, the only book that matters, which is, of course, DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that right now the Bills are really... I mean, everybody thought the Bills were going to the Super Bowl all year long and maybe a little bit off, but you can't jump back on now and be all optimistic. That's ridiculous.
No, I'm happy today. Optimism is a whole other thing. That's a foreign that's a foreign idea. Optimism. I'm happy today, though. Is this weird? What do you guys like better, happy Maggie or depressed Maggie?
Have you seen that movie Smile? Where it's just like some creepy woman standing around smiling and everyone just doesn't know what to do about it and she ends up murdering him. Like that's kind of...
I was the inspiration for that.
I'm kind of worrying right now. Like smiling Maggie's kind of haunting my nightmares.
You know, it was somebody who was probably just like on my Instagram feed the day after the Bills beat New England. It's like, I have an idea for a movie. This weirdo woman keeps smiling. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right, Tom Brady, New England or not?
I can't believe they just compared you to Smile. You don't know this movie, do you? Because that's not a compliment.
I know. They were doing the promotion for it during the baseball playoffs, right? And they just would plant random women behind home plate to creepily smile. Yeah,
it's not good. My daughter wants to see it, and I won't let her because I'm scared of hearing what it's all about.
You'll have to go with her.
Is it about dentistry? No?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, my daughter has picked up the habit I have where she doesn't watch scary movies, but she reads the Wikipedia accounts and now shares them with me right before she's about to go to bed. She's like, Daddy, I can't sleep. I'm like, why? She's just like, oh, I just read the plot to Midsummer. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Anyway.
But hold on, is the plot summary of a scary movie scary?
Totally.
Oof.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to read a couple right now.
During the break, let's get the plot summary of like The Shining or something.
No, let's
and
do
we'll
Smile.
read it.
Let's do
okay,
Smile.
or Smile, and we'll see whether or not just reading a plot summary actually can freak someone out.
This is good because we got to knock Maggie off this pedestal. I can't deal with it for 3 hours. I'm almost rooting for a minor injury in the Bills.
No, Vaughn Miller just went on IR. Come on. 855
And if the Eagles lose this week, as I kind of expect them to, then it's misery.
Thank you for watching our video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, just hit the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Just hit the bell.